Hey everyone, and welcome to DoCoNation's session on getting started with blockchain technology. So, today we have a very special guest with us to speak on this topic and to answer all your questions. We'll be interacting with you live. So, please welcome Mr. Tanishq Wadhwani here.
Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. Tanishq here.
Hey Tanishq, so how are you?
All well, all well. How about you guys?
Yep, we are all well. I hope everyone in the chat also is well. And could you give us a quick introduction about yourself? Like, I have heard a lot about you, and that's how I was able to reach out to you. And you're very generous in accepting the in this whole session. So thank you so much for that, first of all. And could you guys give us an intro about yourself?
Sure thing. So, specific to blockchain, I dabbled with it like an year ago. I'm currently pursuing my final semester at VIT Vellore. Like I'm almost done with my degree. So I started with blockchain like in the starting of my fourth year, and initially, like most of us all, I saw it as a FUD tool. Like it's just sort of advanced web dev. What's so special about it? But then I worked in it, and as things progressed, I realized that this tech is the most revolutionary tech that I've come across. And believe me when I say it, I have dabbled with a lot of tech. I've worked in extended reality. I've dabbled with deep learning and multiple sides of deep learning, multiple sides of web dev as well. So loads of tech. So finally, when I came across web dev with blockchain, it was something that clicked with me. So that's when the journey started with a simple college project. It extended up to a research paper. Then I finally got an internship at DLT Labs. They are the global leaders in enterprise blockchain. So they have the world's largest blockchain implementation with Walmart Canada. So I got an internship there. I worked on their infrastructure, and after that I dabbled with cryptocurrency. So like recently I was advising roughly 20 crypto startups globally for Solana hackathon. So yeah, there's that. So apart from that, decentralization is the agenda of the century, and I truly believe in India's potential.
I
And
agree.
a huge bottleneck in that is that our system is pretty much flawed. And the
Yeah,
first thing which we need to improve of our system is education and job market. So I'm working on my own startup. I'm planning to go full time on it soon. So we at C4 projects, we aim to decentralized education and job market via our platform.
that's great.
So yeah, I guess that's what you need to know about me. And yeah, anytime anything for the community.
That's great. That's great. I mean, the way you have progressed over the past few years and the kind of work that you have done till now and the work that you're doing with C4 projects and also advising multiple startups based on cryptocurrency and the blockchain model is just amazing how dealing with all of those things at such an age, and it's just amazing to see people progress like this. And even we want that other people from the community as well learn from everyone who is joining us like in these sessions, and they also create something of their own and do something with their career, like something great that we can talk about later on. So I hope some future guests are already sitting here in the community itself in this session. So yeah. So yeah, let's start with the session today. So today's topic, as we already know, you guys have already talked about, like it's blockchain. So what exactly has been your experience? Like you have talked about your experience. Let's say what exactly is blockchain when we talk about it?
All right. So okay. Uh, I hope you all guys remember Voldemort, the villain in the Harry Potter series.
Yeah,
So this guy was the OG blockchain user. All right. So what he did was he split his soul into seven parts. So now if you have to kill this person, you have to kill those seven parts. So if I oversimplify it, that's what blockchain is. So currently, we have centralized systems, right? Like for example, if you're using Facebook or let's say you're using Google Meet, so this software is hosted on a cloud server where all your requests are made. Now, let's say if this server was by chance hosted in India, and let's say we were facing some issues, and some of us, get heated up, get angry, and go there and burn down those servers. This whole thing is gone, right? So there are many problems with centralized systems. If you have watched Snowden or The Social Dilemma, you'll realize how critical these issues are. I mean, Facebook has enough power to practically influence an election.
Yeah.
apart from that, America with all its technical monopoly can literally, in a joke, take away the electricity of a whole nation. So I mean, till now we have been busy with developing internet from the user's perspective. Like our main focus was to empower the user, but now we have reached a stage where we need the next level optimization, and that is decentralization. So we want the power to be back to people. So that's what blockchain assists in. So if I get to it again, blockchain is basically an advanced type of web development. So think of it as in this manner. So when you have a centralized server, a centralized database, there is a single entity controlling it. But with blockchain, you practically give the power back to people because yeah, I'll get into the technical details later on, like how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically um, a shared immutable ledger. So all the information is public. I mean, at on the ideal level, it can be made public, and again, it's controlled by people. So yeah, that's a very oversimplified definition of blockchain.
Like just by the oversimplification, and first of all, that example I have to give it to you. This Voldemort thing, I haven't thought about blockchain in this way, so that's something that's great. And like, yeah, blockchain as a concept, like it's so cool. And like nowadays, everyone is seeing the trend. Like yeah, I was even searching for, I was researching something about blockchain and the kind of trend that it has had over the years. So the trend has gone up more than 200% over the past 5 years, and that does not happen with some particular technology, and hasn't happened for a long time. So that means there is something about blockchain that's doing good out there, and it actually is affecting people. And yeah, just like you said, it's basically from what you said and what I've also a little bit read about it. So it's basically empowering the users by making the system like a kind of transparent, not fully transparent. The privacy kind of thing is still maintained for every user, like their own personal privacy is maintained, but the transactions basically they are immutable and public for everyone to read, right? Okay, so how is it like different from centralized thing, and how exactly, like you were saying, that how it works in a certain manner?
Yeah. So as I told you, in our usual centralized systems, the server is hosted on a cloud.
Yeah.
So all right. So let's take example of a next generation centralized application. So probably they will be using MERN stack. All right. So you have a node or any other NoSQL database on top of it running on a node server, and you will probably be using the Express framework on your backend. Now this is
Yeah.
hosted on your AWS. Then you have another node server which is running the React frontend, and this is hosted on like another AWS,
Yeah.
like on another
Cloud hosting basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then so basically you have a host for front end, a host for backend. Now if you scale it further, there will be distributed databases. So there are multiple what do we say, servers managing the backend, multiple servers managing the front end, and through this you are ensured that you are getting that fabulous experience which you get on your like usual applications like Google, Instagram, Facebook, any common product. Now again, the problem with this system is that, let's say I am managing the AWS for Facebook, or let's say like whoever, like whichever application. So I have the access to all your data, all your personal chats. I can look through it and leverage it in any way I want. And the bigger problem is that no system is 100% secure.
Yeah.
Unless and until it's secure by design, it's not secure. So centralized servers are not really secure. Like in front of decentralized systems, like their security, what do I say, like it's really meager. So it's easy for hackers to get into those servers, take in the data, and do whatever with it they want. You might have seen this, that several times recently Domino's data was hacked. I mean,
Yeah, recently a lot of leaks have happened. Domino's and even Facebook, and a lot of leaks have happened.
yeah. So what blockchain does is it's basically secure by design. So how it works is that there is a main net, like there is a public chain on which all the data will be hosted. Now this data, it's immutable, plus it's secured. So it's not like in blockchain. Let's say if you are making a decentralized social network and it's on blockchain, it's not like that everyone will have access to your chats. It's basically secured, but the data is secured there. People can check that, okay, you are a user on this platform, you're using this, and whatever transactions which you want to make public, whichever you want to keep private, it depends on the blockchain. But basically the difference is that there is a mainnet on which everything is deployed instead of personal servers, uh, like a public server per se. And basically in blockchains backend, your database and backend, they are compressed into one. So it's not like there is a different database on which there is a different backend acting.
Yeah.
There is a whole public blockchain on which you are writing smart contracts. So basically, you just write logic. You give blockchain the power that, if these conditions are met, execute the logic. So it's immutable. It's automatic. It gives power to the user, and that's how it works.
That's just
So
like all of this is just amazing because just like you said, like it gives power to the user, and like it's immutable, like it cannot be changed at all once it has been published or promoted towards the chain. And recently, like the one thing which you told about the servers, so recently I guess AWS and the CDN network, basically they hit a very like huge crash, and like a lot of websites like Twitch and AWS servers themselves and Stack Overflow, all of them were down for like several hours. So maybe this is the problem that blockchain can fix, or like because these are centralized, so even Twitch, Stack Overflow, everyone's depending on AWS to work properly. And if they suddenly decide to flip off the switch, then nothing is gonna happen, and they're just gonna be left out in the open with nothing in their hands. So
exactly.
blockchain might be the solution towards moving towards like a sustainable development also, maybe, and giving more powers to the users. That's great.
Definitely. Yeah.
And like we can change the whole scenario, and like is it only possible with web development, or it can be integrated in like IoT devices as well, like?
So if you look at web development closely, it's basically the central point of whole tech.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you look at an IoT stack, basically your backend will be hosted on a hardware device,
Yeah, correct.
right? So that's the only difference which is going to be there, like
So
a backend
basically,
hosted
like
on.
blockchain interacts with the backend of any application, and the front
So
end can be anywhere.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So it can be integrated with anything, like your all of your tech stack can be migrated there. It can work with IoT, it can work with robotics, it can work with anything because it's basically just a better backend in a way.
Okay.
So yeah, just that layer is changing. Apart from that, everything is going to be the same.
Okay, that's great. And let's talk about some major blockchains and their tokens. Like a lot of people are like, basically blockchain is trending. Like let's say in India, like it's sad, but basically it's trending because of cryptocurrencies. Like the technology itself is not that trending, and so only a few people know about it and are working towards it. But cryptocurrencies are something that's trending. So let's talk about like major blockchains and what kind of tokens they have.
So first of all, talking about blockchain, it can be categorized into two. So first are enterprise blockchains, and second are public blockchains. So basically, enterprise blockchains, think of them as like a partial solution.
Okay.
So like as I work for DLT Labs, so they have implemented this enterprise blockchain. So what Walmart Canada did was like, so they have various stakeholders, like multiple vendors which are throwing in the like raw materials which needed to be processed further, and then there are stores which need to be given the whole your whole stock and everything which needs to be there. So there is a very complex supply chain there. Now the other thing is that the centralized the our centralized version, it's basically again, as I told you, it has multiple problems. So there is a lot of manual work there,
Yeah.
like you have different prices with different vendors, so you need to process them differently. It's not easy to automate, but with blockchain this was achieved. So they achieved a lot of efficiency with the DLT lab solution. So this solution, how it works is that there are like few nodes. So let's say there is Walmart Canada, then like let's say there are 10 vendors, 10 stores, and then they have this whole network which is like with probably Hyperledger Fabric. Like DLT Labs used Hyperledger Fabric, and it's the major enterprise blockchain solution. So Hyperledger Fabrics like basically integrates into your cloud, and then your whole cloud servers are basically integrated into the blockchain.
Okay.
And now on this blockchain, smart codes are written. smart contracts are written that okay, whenever this shipment reaches here, execute this payment to this authority and all of this. So that's how that works, enterprise blockchain. So the data is somewhat private and somewhat public. Not like data is not public because the information is proprietary, but public in the sense that only the people who need to know that much amount of
Yeah.
information,
Okay.
like a ground level business scenario. Now the thing with public blockchains is that they will there is no clear line of difference between public blockchains and cryptocurrencies. Reason being, once you make an application on public blockchain, you would probably integrate a cryptocurrency into it for the whole blockchain to operate.
Yeah.
So that's why the two are inseparable. So the two major factions of blockchain are enterprise blockchain and cryptocurrencies.
Cryptocurrencies.
So cryptocurrencies are again not a FUD. They are considered FUD because of like irresponsibility of people like Elon Musk.
Yeah. I
That
get that
that's
point.
yeah. So if you look at public blockchains, I'll tell you how it evolved over the time and how useful it is.
Yeah.
So the first actual public blockchain and the first ever application on public blockchain was Bitcoin. That's why people interchange these terms a lot: cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and blockchain, because
Yeah.
Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency and the first actual application of blockchain. So Bitcoin was a revolution in itself because it was digital currency. And now, why digital currencies are important in the first place? Now, gold was the first ever currency, and gold had a limited supply, so there was no inflation, and that's why it brought with it like loads of benefits with it. But the problem with gold was that people had to mine it, and again, mining required a certain infrastructure as well. So which became problematic because people were dying, like the miners were dying because of this, and again, environment was polluted as well, and all those issues. So that's why eventually countries turned from like gold to fiat currencies. But the problem which came with fiat currencies was that government have control of fiat currencies, and they usually like the government usually gets selected for a term of like 4 years or 5 years, and that is like too short of a time to properly plan economic policies. So what they do is, like, whenever there is an economic crisis, their only solution is mint more money.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is, like, imagine this. So right now you are having a 10 rupee note in your wallet, and you know that tomorrow it can be 100 rupees. So you would be more mindful spending it. But you know for a fact that your 10 rupees due to inflation is going to decrease. So again, we don't feel inflation in our daily lives because that 10 rupees note is not changing, but the things which we are purchasing, their price is
Yeah. The
rising.
prices are rising up. Correct.
Yeah, but that physical 10 rupees note is not changing, so we don't feel that actually. But that's the problem. Like, when you know that your the value of your currency is going to decrease, you are in a hurry to spend that money. You actually hoard that money. That's why you want to buy stuff as soon as you can. So as
Yeah.
soon as you get money, you buy stuff. And this behavior becomes problematic because you are spending needlessly. So that is accelerating climate change, that is accelerating global warming, that is increasing wealth gap. But when you have a currency, like, let's say gold, or yeah, let's consider gold for now. When you have something like gold which is capped, like which you can't min according to your own needs, you will be more mindful of spending it because you know that tomorrow its value is going to increase. So that's the thing. But gold was again banned because of mining and all these issues.
Yeah.
So then finally Bitcoin came, and it was digital gold, literally. So again, it was a proper solution. But again, it undermines government's authority because as of now,
Yeah.
government has their monopoly, they are controlling it. It undermines it, so they won't obviously just let go of their powers. So on paper they are for the people, but we know like what the ground level reality is, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they are there is so much of mess going on. Bitcoin is in itself a revolution, finally a technical revolution. So there's a lot going in. There are people for it, there are revolutionaries, and of course there is a government which we are fighting against. So yeah, that's about Bitcoin. Then with Bitcoin, the problem was that it was just money. It was
Yeah.
not programmable.
Exactly.
So then came Ethereum, which disrupted big tech in a way. So with Ethereum, you can program that money into applications.
Yeah.
So that was the next big revolution. But there is a scalability trilemma that you can't achieve
Through
scalability,
Ethereum.
security, and decentralization simultaneously in any
Yeah.
system for that matter. So Ethereum focused on decentralization and security and let go of the scalability.
Yeah.
So that was the problem with Ethereum, and due to that, ushered a whole new era of cryptocurrencies. Uh, After that, uh, there were solutions like layer one scaling. So basically, to scale Ethereum, there are two probable solutions. You either improve the chain, the whole blockchain, or either you use multiple chains. So the first solution is layer one scaling. So there are multiple layer one scaling solutions like Solana, Cardano,
Yeah,
Internet Computer.
correct.
Then there are multiple layer two scaling solutions which basically are built on top, like which basically provide you more blockchains to help Ethereum scale. So the most prominent of them being Matic. It is
Correct.
an Indian
Indian,
startup.
yeah,
Yeah. So finally, we are leading the big tech space,
exactly.
and Matic is really promising. It has a bright future.
Yeah,
Then fast forward, after that, there are solutions which enable multiple blockchains to integrate with each other. Because as we are seeing, there are going to be multiple blockchains, and that's why the ecosystem is going to be like very diverse. So there needs to be blockchains which focus on interoperability, which ensure that there is a whole intact ecosystem of cryptocurrencies. So the solutions focusing on that right now are Polkadot and Cosmos.
yeah,
Then finally, our current systems are centralized and we are moving to a decentralized system. So there needs to be a bridge between that as well. So that's what Chainlink is focusing on. Then there are a few more solutions, like there are few more cryptocurrencies, like there are cousins of bitcoins in a way, like basically scalable bitcoins, more greener bitcoins. So Litecoin being the silver to bitcoin's gold.
yeah,
Then there is Nano, which is like green bitcoin. Then there is Monero. So bitcoin can still be tracked, like in bitcoin there, like there won't, your name won't be written, like there won't be written that a
yeah,
Tanishq transferred money to Trehan or anything like that. But bitcoin has addresses. So if you are able to track the addresses, you can still track that how money is being spent.
yeah.
Now the thing with Monero is that Monero is untraceable.
Okay.
So that is another cryptocurrency. Then apart from that, there is a whole space of platform coins like BNB, Binance Coin,
Yeah, and
Rex token.
the Rex token, yeah, correct.
Then there are tokens specific to platforms, like there is Theta. So Theta is like decentralized YouTube. So Theta is the cryptocurrency powering it. Then then there are DeFi protocols, very important. So uh, basically the finance which we know of today is going to be like changed to totally.
Yeah,
And I
totally.
really
It's
think
gonna evolve into a new thing, and everyone needs to then talk to their CA once again. Like, what is this shit going on?
so I'm actually sad for people of like with commerce backgrounds and people pursuing careers in those fields, because
Yeah,
we'll be
their
disrupting it
syllabus is gonna
overnight.
increase a
No,
lot.
their syllabus is going to change. Whatever
Change.
they're
Okay.
studying, nothing is going to be relevant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are things with stock markets, like stock market is very much regulated.
Hmm.
Now the cryptocurrency market, it's totally unregulated and no one can
Exactly.
control it. So now all your analysis goes into waste. So now you have to start from scratch. And
Scratch.
again,
Correct.
there are yield farming protocols, there are lending protocols. So the whole way you see finance is going to change, and it's just plain sad for commerce students specifically, because they would have to learn back again. And
Exactly.
we are the ones disrupting it for a change. So I mean,
Yeah, it's like a gold mine for tech people because there are a whole lot of opportunities available for everyone working in tech to actually make a solution over the blockchain development technology and whatever the decentralized finance space, especially, it's gonna be a boon out there. And also talking about the cryptocurrency trading, if we talk about that, so I had my chance also to do a little kind of gamble with Dogecoin when it was on the rise. But exactly as you said, because it's not regulated, you never know what can happen. So I was able to make a like proper profit through Dogecoin rise, but again I immediately backed out because that felt like gambling and it was too unpredictable. So I stayed with Ethereum and this Cardano basically. I and Matic. So for these three, and along with Bitcoin for safety purpose, that's something that's everyone's buying it. So this is like my crypto portfolio, kind of small portfolio in crypto. So yeah, that's also a thing that's happening right now. Everyone's trying to build a good portfolio in crypto as well.
so yeah, like it's a good thing actually, because crypto is eventually going to kill stock market the way I see
Yeah,
it, because
exactly.
crypto is a lot better than the conventional finance. Reason being, um, see, if you are a founder, you need to take your company public eventually,
Exactly.
and to do that, you require at least 7 years, because again, the whole stock market is a lot old, and there are already companies there.
Yeah.
So, and plus, you need to go through a lot of rules, regulations, and loads of stuff are there. But if you are like, if you understand crypto and if you understand ICOs, you don't need to care about any of that. You can like
Exactly.
go public today without losing the control of your company essentially. So lot less regulations, the market is open 24 by 7, there are no middlemen controlling it, like else if you're going for an IPO in like let's say the US market, your IPO will probably be regulated by JP Morgan and other big investment banks, who
Yeah.
will do the underwriting and tell you that okay, this is the price on which you should release your shares. But with crypto, there is this thing that you need to be a lot smarter because there are no regulations in place. So if you're not smart enough with it, you will be murdered in it. But if you really understand the space, appreciate the space, you'll realize how big of a revolution it is,
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
finally the right thing. It basically hands down the power back to people. So especially
And especially that's how money, like money should be. Like it's not
yeah,
for the government exactly. Like people are working, so they are earning their share of money, but they should be sure of like, okay, the value that I'm receiving right now stays the same over time.
exactly. So there's that. And with an ICO, your company can stay private but still get access to public funds.
Yeah, that's ICO is like a very interesting concept that's going on, and even I am trying to research more about it and know more about it to how we can actually use it. So that's something that we can do. And let's talk about like blockchain development. If basically someone wants to, start a kind of career in the blockchain space, so what exactly there is? Like there are things like dApps that are being, the terms like dApps being used here and there, and then DeFi and all. So what exactly is there?
So I would first suggest that before even stepping into blockchain, have your fair share of time with web dev and machine learning,
Okay.
because if you don't understand centralized systems thoroughly, you won't ever be able to appreciate decentralized systems. So, like as I told you, when I initially dabbled with blockchain, I thought that it's just some advanced web dev, and even I wasn't sure of it. You know how revolutionary the tech was. But since I had a good command over centralized systems, when I understood, like when I dabbled with it, I was actually able to appreciate it. Like how good it is. So that's what my advice would be, that first specialize on centralized systems. So learn web dev, learn machine learning, and after you have a fair like it's okay, you don't have to like go too much in deep with it, because again another problem with blockchain is right now that the cryptocurrency, the whole DApp development stack, it's still developing. Like
Yeah,
there is no AWS for blockchain per
exactly.
se. So the infrastructure does not exist right now. Even we are building it right now, the blockchain developers. So make sure that you understand how the internet was built, how centralized systems work. Your basic stacks, MERN, LAMP, uh, basic machine learning algorithms. After you are done with your basics, when you have enough understanding that you can play with centralized systems however you want, then get into blockchain development. Now there are two parts in blockchain development. First is enterprise blockchain development. Second is cryptocurrency development. So first, again, I would say at least take a look at enterprise development, because again, it's important to understand how private blockchains work, because not always you require a public blockchain for your purpose.
Yeah.
So learn a bit about private blockchains as well. Then finally get into cryptocurrency development. That is the space I would say to be in right now. Reason being that it's so exciting. Think about this, that Google, Facebook, and all of these internet companies are just starting out, and then the infrastructure didn't existed. Like Google was literally set up with servers in their room. So
Yeah.
that is the situation of space right now. There is no infra. I mean, with Ethereum you can't scale. So you need to use legit computer science to build that infra. You need to use all those whatever learnings you have from centralized systems to build the decentralized system. So that's how it's so much more exciting, because you have to do everything from scratch. So there is no AWS which can just help you scale directly. You have to write a lot of manual code, do a lot of manual coding to, if you're even building a scalable solution. Like to give you a figure, there is not even a single scalable public solution right now.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why the space is so exciting, that there is no solution right now. So everyone is in a race to build it. It's really exciting. And more important thing is that investors are finally understanding it. There's a lot of VC money flowing in. And for a fact, I can tell you that there is a lot of good money. I mean, you can.
Exactly. Like there's a lot of VC money coming in into crypto startups right now, and even games, like mostly games are adopting it more than any other thing right now. I feel because they feel that it's the best way to actually get more people to purchase their in-app purchases and everything, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll get to like subcategorizing cryptocurrencies as well, like what all applications are there.
Yeah,
But the basic logic is that there are not enough number of people who are good enough to deal with this stuff.
yeah,
So yeah, that's why I would suggest like first learn centralized systems, computer science, and then finally get into this space. And once you are there, this is how you should proceed about it. Like talking of the development roadmap, like what all you need to learn.
yeah,
So the first thing which you will have to learn is Ethereum and Solidity. So Ethereum is your blockchain. Ethereum is your platform on which you will be deploying your smart contracts. Those smart contracts are written in Solidity. Front end is exactly the same as it used to be before. I'm pretty sure there will be some revolution, but yeah, we are still awaiting it
yeah,
on the front end side. But right now, only the back end is changing. So that's how it works. Solidity is very similar to JavaScript. That's why I said that like a background in centralized systems would help you a lot. So the problem with Ethereum is that you can't scale it. So now there are a lot of solutions. So you can either go to Solana. Solana development happens in Rust. You can then go to layer two scaling, which happens in Ethereum. Sorry, which happens in Polygon or Matic. So there again, the whole code is in Solidity. So you can just proceed with Solidity there. Uh, Polkadot or Cosmos doesn't don't have a platform yet. So whenever they release their platform, you would have to learn that from scratch.
yeah.
Chainlink again, there is an it's in Solidity. So the major thing with this space right now is that, as I told you, the infra is not there. So you need to write a lot of manual code. You need, like, think about the problem is with centralized systems have been that you have to, like, let's say build an e-commerce. So if you have, there will probably a node package which will help you in any use
Yeah,
case.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But the problem here is that you have to develop node itself first,
Exactly.
and after that you can talk about developing packages. So that's why this field is very new, and that's why there is a lot of money coming in, because these challenges are not so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you especially need to be a really good developer, or you really need to have a good, what do I say, good problem solving, good peace of mind, because you will be building things from scratch. So there is a lot of
Basically, we are innovating everything from scratch right now. Just like these technologies were 10, 30, 40 years ago, we are basically like creating a new era of internet. So everything
exactly.
is going from a scratch.
Exactly. So you need a lot of patience. You need to learn a lot of things from first principles. Like, you build something, you test it, and you then understand what's not working. Then you again build it and
Yeah.
do it. So there is a lot of manual code going on there instead of framework stuff. So yeah, there's that. But again, the work is really rewarding, like
Yeah,
in
it is.
financially and intellectually as well.
Intellectually as
So
well, correct. Like this space, this is a space that if a new developer, a budding developer who is just now like learning about web development or any other tech stack or whatever it is, this is a space that they can actually look up to later on as a career option, because there is a lot of opportunity. Like the same thing, demand supply, what you're talking about. So the demand is more, but the supply is less. So there will be a lot of job opportunities in this sector. So yeah,
exactly, and a lot
budding
of
developers, you can take note of this roadmap, because don't just start, because I've seen a lot of people who just go to Udemy and Coursera and they take up a course without knowing anything else but just this. Just immediately go and search blockchain development and then start the course. But that won't help them out.
No, definitely not, because I can tell you for sure that there is like literally no good content on blockchain.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been spending a lot of my time in building that content on my blogs and stuff and all that thing. But because I'm legit telling you, there is not a single course which you can do to learn about this. That's why I told you that a strong foundation in web development, machine learning, computer science is the key here.
correct.
Because unless and until, if you don't even understand how centralized systems are scaled, you won't be ever able to scale a decentralized system. And building a prototype on decentralized system, it's not a that difficult task. I mean, you can just go on YouTube, type how to write a simple code
Yeah,
in
yeah, correct.
Solidity, and a POC will be there. But yeah, no one is going to pay you much money for that, because you won't be able to scale it, and I can tell you that for sure. And right now, I'm telling you, not even the best companies know how to scale blockchain. So forget the idea of going doing a course and learning that way. That's why I told you that the main challenge here is that you would have to learn a lot of things firsthand. Like, again, from first principles, you should know the low level stuff. Like, for example, I told you that Solana is so the whole Solana development goes into Rust. So Rust is very similar to C++. So you should know how low level memory management works. You should know when to deploy your garbage collections, how to handle errors there, a lot of low level memory management stuff. So
Exactly.
it's not so easy to do that. It won't be like, your normal Python stuff that you'll just say, okay, x equals to 5, or just you deployed Flask or simple stuff like that, deployed
Yeah,
your backend in 5 minutes or something like that. There's a lot of manual code to be written, and that's why a course or things like that are not going to help you. Like, specialize in centralized development, understand decentralized development, then just first hand dabble with it. And another thing to note here is that there is a huge paradigm shift coming. So as of now, people dream about, when they enter engineering colleges, we'll do competitive coding, we'll get into FANG or big tech
yeah,
companies
yeah, yeah.
and all that. And FANG, again, they value credentials, they value your code star, XYZ ranking and stuff and shit like that. But with these crypto startups, they don't mind, they won't even look at your degree and stuff. I mean, I've been this space, I've recruited people, and the way we recruit, the way we judge is like by your GitHubs. I mean, have you written code? Like, do you really understand things? I mean,
Exactly.
literally, I mean, I don't even remember asking anyone or someone asking me for a resume anymore. I mean, we just look at GitHub, LinkedIn, and just that's it. We get on call, we discuss like, okay, tell us about your experience. The major thing is because, first of all, the person is willing to work in crypto. That's a huge thing because, again, as I told you, the major mindset of engineers right now is that we'll work for FANG and all that.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
like, yeah, as you said, this is a huge paradigm shift happening. Like, not just with the startups, basically. So, on from the point of view of a recruiter, it is changing that a GitHub profile says it all, basically. And but in students also, I've seen this a lot that nowadays they want to work with a startup more than they want to get into FANG. Like that kind of shift is
yeah.
also going on in the student arena. So that's also great to look at.
Definitely, and I just hope it increases because
Yeah,
once you really get into tech, you realize that especially when you'll get into the crypto space, you'll realize that the work which Fang is doing right now is nothing compared to what these startups are doing. So
exactly.
things have changed. Like, for example, I even like when I was looking for internships, I even contacted Fang offices in US basically, and how they recruited and all. So yeah, basically you need a master's degree to get into US office. But with crypto startups, there are literally people all over the world working right now. No
Yeah,
one cares if you have any degree. No one cares if you have a technical background or whatever. If you're willing to be there, you are willing to put in the work because a lot of that is enthusiasm oriented. Like, if
exactly.
you need to have enthusiasm, you need to have
That
patience
passion should be there to do that.
because you will be figuring out things firsthand,
Yeah, correct.
learning stuff, firsthand. Like, think about when Steve Jobs built the first, like when Steve Jobs brought in the personal computer revolution. Like
Correct.
when Wozniak built the whole Apple one. It's that exciting me to be in that space. No one knows
Correct,
how
correct.
to do it.
So
You have to,
basically, you're learning something, you're making something, and then shit, you just made something new. It's that kind
yeah,
of stuff in crypto.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's basically like this the same trend we observed in 1990s about the internet.
exactly.
So it's to 2020 is going to be in crypto, and as I said, I'll subcategorize crypto as well. So crypto is again a very broad term. So the work in crypto going on right now is, first of all, again, technology infrastructure, which I listed on, like Cardano, and all those like technologies which help you enable build the apps. Then another major field is decentralized finance. So there's a lot of work going on there as well. So basically, reimagine your whole finance working on decentralized systems. So banks, imagine banks which are open up 24/7. Imagine exchanges being open 24/7. Imagine no one controlling your lending. And if you have even have a bit of idea of how financial systems work, how scammy things are in there. I
Exactly.
mean, when you need to get a loan, you need to have a civil score and stuff, and how they are judged and all. So again, the whole process is very scammy, and there is a lot goes on in there. So decentralized finance is again about transparency, bringing in power to people. I'll tell you what. I was advising this startup in Kenya, and Kenya doesn't have an internet infrastructure right now. Like, not they don't have high speed internet, or they do not have even banking infrastructure as well. So what this founder was doing, he was building decentralized banks via mobile network, using blockchains and cryptocurrencies. So that's the sort of stuff which is happening all around
Yeah,
the world in
correct.
decentralized finance. So there's decentralized finance, then there are there are DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. So think about the whole governance decentralized. So instead of a CEO and CFO controlling the organizations, the decisions are made on votes, and there is the whole treasury is functioning based on votes. So like money is locked into the treasury, then people vote on how that money should be used, and then those decisions are made. So
Yeah,
not even the CEO or CFO have the control over the treasury, that they can work over it. Then NFTs are again, then there are NFTs are revolutionizing
yeah,
the whole
correct.
art space. So there's that. Apart from that, all the usual applications like social media
Yeah,
and stuff, they
correct.
are all coming to there.
Like I recently
So
came across this social media platform, Bitcloud. I'm
hmm,
sure you have heard of it. So that's also a crazy concept. We know the people coins and all everything. Every user have their own token. That's just a crazy concept, and I feel that it's gonna blow up very soon because almost all of the top coins that there are on Bitcloud right now, almost all have joined the platform and claimed their tokens. So it feels like it's gonna blow up very soon.
exactly. So yeah, there are, as I told you, technology infra, DAOs, NFTs, decentralized finance. Apart from that, again, mining has been a very traditional business since the
Yeah,
inception of crypto. So yeah, more or less these five are the major subcategories of crypto.
crypto space. That's correct. That's correct. That was a very educational as well as thrilling journey with you today, and it's just a wonderful. So let's take up questions from the audience members. So we already have two in the chat box, so I just read out to you. So what do you think about the Pi network?
No clue about it. Sorry.
Okay, Pi network. I guess it started recently, like when Matic was picking up, then Pi network started. Okay, and Namit is
But wait,
asking.
before we go that, I'll tell you how I research about any cryptocurrency. So, if you can use this framework, you won't have to ask anyone else,
Yeah,
what their opinions are on anything. So, I'll just tell you that. So, see, the first thing to do is like read about this any network which you want to research about on CoinMarketCap. It's a really great site, and like they have very good research. I mean, I've been writing a lot of blogs on different crypto projects, and what I realized was that they have a lot of good info there on CoinMarketCap. Apart from that, go to their Twitter and see, whatever recent news is there. Check out the news. Apart from that, check out their website, how much traction they have. So, first of all, I would suggest that learn about few basic cryptocurrencies. I'll put in the link to my blog here, like after this session. So I've enlisted the basic cryptocurrencies there. So if you can just learn about those first, so you will form a basic mental model of how cryptocurrencies work, and what how they add value to the world. So the first question which you should be asking about any cryptocurrency is that how is it adding value to the world? Like how will it empower a normal person? So that's the first thing to ask about. If it can't, like let's say Dogecoin. So Dogecoin has no value to
yeah,
offer to a person. So that's the first elimination you need to make. That okay, this is where the initial preliminary elimination happens. Then next thing, look at the execution. Like first, if they have a good vision, then look how good are they executing. So as I told you, a lot of this info you can find on CoinMarketCap, Twitter, and their website. So learn about what projects are there. Like for example, if we consider Solana, there are a lot many good projects which are going on Solana. So that's why you understand that okay, this is something which is very promising. Then you look at Twitter, you'll see all the updates that whatever is going on in there. And again, CoinMarketCap will give you an idea about who the founders are,
yeah,
like
exactly. Like I have subscribed to the newsletter from CoinMarketCap, and every morning around 9 or 10, I get a proper email from CoinMarketCap, which gives me like the top news, the major rises, the major falls, and like some recommended blogs and all to read more and more and know. Like every day, just in the morning, to just read that one newsletter gives me more knowledge than if I go and research. It's just a huge work for me to take time out for that, but that one email or one newsletter email is just amazing. So yeah, CoinMarketCap is an amazing resource to do that.
exactly. On CoinMarketCap, like you can specifically find the details of a specific cryptocurrency as well.
Yeah,
So there they will enlist like who are the founders, how is the whole cryptocurrency secured, if there is any major news related to it.
yeah,
Apart from that, how is the tokenomics, like how many tokens are there in circulations, how many
exactly.
have been minted, how many are going to be minted, how that works. So yeah, all that. So based on that research, you make an opinion like, okay, if this is good or bad, and at last you then look at the whole price chart.
Yeah,
So you try to understand that how the price chart is functioning. Like let's say a cryptocurrency is going down for some reason, so you let it like fall until it starts rising, and then you buy it. So I guess that's what I generally do with anything. Apart from that, after you start doing this, you'll form an investment philosophy. And even in crypto, as I
correct,
told you, that there are very specific niche as well. So the like I specifically, my investment philosophy is towards technology infrastructure, so I
correct,
specialize more towards that. So it's difficult to keep a track of everything, it's almost impossible. So that's why it's better to restrict towards a specific niche. Like let's say if you like decentralized finance, stick to that. Like learn what the major protocols are doing, how things are going on there. For me, it's technology infrastructure, so I keep myself updated to that, and based on whatever is going on, I just look into that. And crypto is a space which changes very fast. Like internet
correct.
computer didn't existed like even a month back. So yeah, then this crypto comes up, shoots up to like under 10 position. So again, then you start analyzing that, okay, what is the deal with this, is it really good and all that. So that's the only thing which you need to keep a track about. So yeah, if you follow this framework, I'm pretty sure you'll be like successful as a crypto investor.
That's great. So Shivam, I hope you have got your points about how you can analyze the network. So basically, you can use this tool, the CoinMarketCap, to, you have elimination rounds basically. So first you look around what problem it's solving, what's the main use case of this, then what technology they're using and how are they scaling, whether they're scaling or not basically, and other features. You'll get all of the information. You can use that. And I have another question from Namit, which is that what could be the worst case scenario if some countries like USA accepts or adopts crypto and some like India does not?
Just a minute, I'll share the link to my crypto blog as well here,
Yeah,
so
sure.
that
Others as well, if you have got any questions, you can drop it down in the chat box.
all right, yeah. Yeah, please continue with the question.
Yeah, okay. So Namit Kasliwal has asked that what could be the worst case scenario if some countries like USA adopts or accepts crypto like as a form of digital currency and some like India does not?
So the thing is, even if all the countries combined, if they reject crypto, they can actually ban crypto, and I'll tell you why. Because cryptocurrency's technology is based on like people running nodes, basically. So if you look at, like, I'll tell you how Bitcoin works. So let's say all of us went out to like let's say COVID didn't existed, and instead of this happening over a Google Meet, this was happening in person. And let's say we went after the session, we went for dinner or something, and we ordered whatever we wanted to order, and finally the bill came in and we decided to split. So now let's say Rehan paid the bill, and now we have to like pay him like whatever we ordered. So let's say I pay him like $500 for whatever I ordered. So now what happens if you use Google Pay is this. So since my Google Pay account is having 500, it checks that and transfers the money to Trehan's. But now you're trusting Google in this process. Now what happens if it shows to me that the money was like transacted, and to Trehan it shows that it wasn't transacted. And we keep contacting Google's customer care that give us our money back, and they don't care. So we lost our money in that process. Now what happens with Bitcoin is, like, let's say if this transaction was processed through Bitcoin, I paid $500 via Bitcoin. So now this transaction would be like made available to like the Bitcoin miners. Now they'll, using an algorithm called proof of work, they'll check that, okay, there's a person named Tanishq Wadhwani exists. So yeah, he exists. Then they'll check my account. Okay, does this guy have 500 rupees in
Yeah,
his
enough
account?
finances to actually convert this, correct?
Yeah, so basically that's how that algorithms works. They'll all check that, okay, Tanishq Wadhwani exists. Okay, his account has 500 rupees. Okay, Priyan exists. His account has 500. Like he can incorporate that much money in his account. And then once the miner is checked, they will like propose using an algorithm that, okay, this works. Now there will be other miners as well. So the thing is that the miner who like gets the right answer fastest is awarded with Bitcoin. This is how proof of works. So now the miners, more miners will go through the same process. They'll check if this thing is possible, and based on that, the miner who proposed the proof earliest, they will submit. They will basically get rewarded. So this is how Bitcoin works. So it's basically enabled by people for people. All right, so there is no third party to trust here, and unless people are willing to collaborate over Bitcoin, no one can stop this, because to practically ban or practically kill crypto, you would need a tyrant who needs the power to burn down every computer system in this world. And now you
Yeah,
know for a fact like how impossible that sounds.
exactly. So
Now coming
basically,
to
if they ban or something happens, this thing still would stand in some or the other way.
use VPN. I
Yeah,
mean, there are see there are a lot of things which are banned. All right, uh, and there are things which are even more easier to ban than cryptocurrency. Like let's say for example, marijuana. Right? I mean, marijuana was banned, but it's still used right now. Right? So even after being illegal, that thing was processed. Consider dark web. So a lot of terrorism
yeah. A
happens.
lot of terrorist organizations they still use it for their purpose. Yeah,
So yeah, like have governments been able to ban that? No, right? So yeah, nothing is going to happen to crypto, even if like government bans them. And looking at the ground level scenario, things are looking good as well. I
yeah.
mean,
Things are looking good.
El Salvador recently accepted Bitcoin in their legal tenders.
Yeah,
Right. Apart from that, Bitcoin has been gaining major traction from a lot of people, like from a lot of lot of important people, like Jack Dorsey, the founder and CEO of Twitter. He he is building Blue Sky, a decentralized version of Twitter. I mean, that's huge for someone in big tech to accept that their monopoly is not good and decentralization is
yeah.
actually better for the
Exactly.
world. It's really fair, and it's really very generous. So things are looking good, and I'm pretty sure like people will finally come around to this. I mean, China has been trying to ban crypto since its inception. It bans crypto every time once
Yeah,
a year, right? But all it does is it calls for a market correction. It will just hinge the price of Bitcoin here and there, and it will be back in a while.
yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
nothing to worry about crypto, because it is something which is good for the people and people are understanding it. So crypto is not going anywhere for sure.
As far as there is awareness, there is a chance that this will be adopted in everywhere, like globally, and it will come to some kind of regulatory purposes, and there will be a kind of hybrid version that will be accepted globally. Like I don't know what will happen, but yeah, things are looking good for cryptocurrency overall in the world. That's great.
Definitely.
Okay, we have a few more questions. Uh, why? Okay, so with some big influencer literally fluctuating crypto market, why do you think that crypto can be accepted? Like, why can this currency be accepted if it can be fluctuated by a single tweet? Basically, I guess that's what he means.
So look, right now the thing with crypto is that, being very honest, it's it's the epitome of fintech. I mean, even if you're from a technical background, as I told you, it's not easy to understand it.
Yeah,
It took me a lot of like good hours to finally understand how crypto works. So as I told you, like there is a proper roadmap to understand, to get into blockchain development in cryptocurrency and understand it. So as I told you, there is a long roadmap. You need to understand web dev, you need to understand machine learning, then you finally get onto blockchain, then you get onto crypto. Now tell me, with the current situation, with the current intellectual capacity and the current mindset of people, where people idealize getting into FANG, people idealizing over degrees and stuff like this, idealizing over credentials. How do you expect people to grasp a concept like this? So it's going to take its time. I mean, people need
yeah,
to be educated first, people need to be developed first. Cryptocurrency is a bit ahead of the time, in the sense that people are not as
exactly,
much intellectually capable of it, if in a way. I mean, not
exactly,
even Elon Musk for that matter, because I mean, the guy really doesn't understand cryptocurrencies. I mean, on Saturday Night Live, he was asked
yeah,
what's on cryptocurrency, and for a man of his technical stature, you would understand, you would expect him to deliver more than its public's money. I mean, that is something which anyone can Google and tell. So again, it took him 2 years to understand that Bitcoin mining is not good for environment, and even that is not factually true. I mean, fiat currency and the way whole central organizations operate, it is way more worse for like the world. And on the contrary, cryptocurrency miners or Bitcoin miners, they use green energy to maximize their operations, right? So not even the best in the world understand cryptocurrency right now, so we can't understand people to accept it or understand it so fast. So the as far as the fluctuating price is concerned, it will only cure with mass adoption. So
Yeah.
once people will truly understand what cryptocurrency is, they'll truly appreciate what cryptocurrency is, then they won't you know be prone to this stupidity. Like for me, all of my investments are 100% in decentralized cryptocurrencies. All right, and I have seen my put like money to like my money doubling to my money halving, but I've never worried about it, because I know for sure that in the next 10 years, 20 years, there is just something which
Yeah.
is going to the world.
In the
And
long run, it's always going to be very profitable.
yeah, and especially now, like especially for early investors, even right now, it's early adoption for cryptocurrencies
Exactly.
if you look at it, because like there is a lot of fluctuations right now. So eventually it will stabilize, as people will be more intellectually capable, people will be more educated, and people will finally able to accept it, understand it.
So basically, like a mass awareness and education of the public is required. Then only we can actually check whether this fluctuation is due to a celebrity or an influencer, or this is because of a lack of awareness and education. Because this happens all the time, whether it's crypto or it's if we talk about general purpose only. So if someone like it's kind of like herd mentality, right? So in
Exactly.
stocks also that happens. It happens in your general daily life कि अप्सरा की पेंसिल अच्छी है. People are buying Apsara pencils. Pilot सबसे अच्छी पेन है या Parker है. So that thing stays with you for your whole life. But again, mass adoption, just like you said, mass education about cryptocurrencies and how they actually function and what their purpose is might be the answer to these fluctuating prices. बाकी तो
I
market का
mean,
कोई time नहीं कर सकता.
like look at this, like understand it in this way. All right, so I totally understand cryptocurrencies, and I had my a bit of a portfolio in Bitcoin. Right now, let's say talk about some another person, and he had his portfolio in Bitcoin as well. Now Elon Musk comes, he tweets something stupid. Now since I understand cryptocurrency, I understand that Bitcoin, like Elon Musk has nothing to offer to Bitcoin, right? I mean, with Tesla not accepting it, it never mattered, because like who is going to buy a Tesla with Bitcoin in the first place, right? The whole thing is stupid. So I know for a fact that Elon Musk was never adding any value to the Bitcoin ecosystem. So I was not worried by it. Like when he tweeted, like his existence or his involvement in like Bitcoin has nothing to do with Bitcoin. So I didn't take out like I didn't basically sold my Bitcoin. But now let's say someone who didn't understand it and invested in like just for FOMO, he would definitely sell Bitcoin, because for him he doesn't understand crypto. So for him, Elon Musk is God. So now his God is telling him that Bitcoin is not good, sell it. So he sold it, and now his God himself bought more crypto, like bought more Bitcoin by dropping the prices. So now his God basically fooled him.
He's a great businessman, and that Twitter handle is like a kind of a, uh, it can be a thesis for people to understand how easily, if you have that power, you can manipulate people. But yeah, he's a
It's
businessman in nature, so basically, crypto is not benefiting from him or the other way around. But yeah, that dip surely made him buy more Bitcoin in his own portfolio and the companies. So that's something that people should take note of before following something.
the thing is that ultimately, no matter how good systems you build, it boils
Yeah,
down to people. And if people are not intellectually capable to understand investments, so they are
exactly.
for sure going to be in loss. I mean, so ultimately it's on the people.
So basically, before doing anything, you need to make yourself, at least at a certain level, you need to study about it, and you need to know what exactly is happening. Correct.
Exactly.
So I guess we have one more question, the last one, I guess, for tonight. So, what's the difference between proof of work and proof of stake?
So the basic difference is that for proof of work, you require miners. So like as I explained you the whole thing, how proof of work works.
Yeah.
So for proof of stake, it's actually better for the environment, because it doesn't actually relies on miners. So you actually buy a cryptocurrency, you stake that cryptocurrency, and then depending on how much cryptocurrency you have staked, you have a role in decision making. Then based on that role in decision making, you basically empower the network to It's basically like what do I say, an exclusivity club.
Hmm.
So let's say if I'm in a company and if I'm giving a referral to an someone to the HR department to make him an employee, I'm basically telling that okay, this guy is reliable, make him. So that's how proof of stake works. So basically I'm staking in my money, and like okay, getting back to that HR example. Now if that employee doesn't works out well, my reputation is on the line as well, right? So that's how proof of stake works. Like once your money is staked, and if you are let's say you submitted a proof that okay, this transaction is right, and let's say by chance later on that transaction is like was not right, so your money goes down. So basically the incentive here is that you are a part of that exclusivity club.
Exactly.
And expanding on this, there are a lot of algorithms. I mean, I oversimplified proof of stake, proof of work. Even proof of stake has a lot of variants. Like if you go into Cardano, there is Ouroboros proof of stake. If you go into Solana, there is proof of history and hybrid of proof of stake. So there are a lot of these algorithms, and quoting Andrew Ng from machine learning, you don't need to worry about mathematics to get started in machine learning. So in the same way, you don't need to worry about these algorithms before starting into blockchain
Blockchain
cryptocurrencies.
technology, correct.
Yeah, if you can just understand about these algorithms, like basic one line definition or oversimplified versions, uh, that is fine, or you can even learn
Like
them on
that's
the
a
fly.
good starting point for you. You're good to go to, dive deeper into this whole thing. So yeah, basically that's the difference. And also anything like this is a new territory. This is the new era of internet. So before doing anything, choose your decisions wisely. Whether it's crypto trading you're doing it, or whether you want to do something in this area that is blockchain, you need to study a lot, you need to work a lot, you need to do that hard work to achieve those gains. That is the whole essence of blockchain, I guess. So yeah, I
Yeah,
guess that's the we don't have any more questions. So I guess that's it for today. And thank you so much, Tanishq, for joining us today. It has been wonderful talking to you about blockchain technology as well as crypto. And even the audience members were interacting and they asked questions and all. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that we can do this sometime again about something else topics, in blockchain itself. And even our people can, in the community, the students can leverage your network as well as your support in the blockchain environment, because we are trying to develop a club also for blockchain inside the community itself, so that they know more and more about the blockchain technology.
for sure. First of all, thanks a lot for having me here, and it was a great time interacting with you all. And I totally look forward to contributing to the community, or helping you guys in whatever way I can. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. Just search for Tanishq Wadhwani, you'll get there.
Sure,
Or
like
you
everyone in the
already
community, the after the session is ended, you will get all the links, references, and the blog link as well for Mr. Tanish's blog, as well as his socials, the LinkedIn profile, and everything. So if you want to get in touch with him, everyone can do that. And like this video will also be available on YouTube, so you can watch it later if you are not able to attend this. And for those who are watching it right now on YouTube, maybe later on, so you can get all those information in the description to contact Mr. Tanish. So
so
thank you so
just
much,
before
Tanish, for here. Yeah,
So just before we conclude, I would just like to say this, that see, cryptocurrency is a pretty exciting stage. Is a very pretty exciting space to be in, and maybe I tried to present the most realistic version of it. So it might have gotten a bit overwhelming. But what I would say is that you know, uh, don't fear from it. It's not like that. It's too difficult to get into or something like that. I mean, it just requires structured approach, a rational approach, I would say. So if you're getting to development, learn about web dev, machine learning. It's not required that you know all those things in depth. Like just basic. If you know how central systems work, how businesses based on centralized systems work, that is good enough to get started. Don't think that you need to like have 5 years or experience or something like that to get started. I mean, I'm literally in my final semester right now, and I started with that. So and as I told you, I started with blockchain only a year back. So it's not like that, it's too difficult or something like that. And I hope that I didn't make it sound like that. I mean, if by chance that happened, like that was totally not my intention. And even on the investing side, it was never like, you need to do a lot of research to do that. I mean, I have done the heavy lifting for you. Go to my blogs, read my blogs. That will give you enough of information to get
exactly.
started. So what I'm saying is that just have a rational mindset. Don't invest in crypto because Elon Musk is saying invest in crypto because you think something is going to work out. All right, and it's totally fine. If you thought rationally about a crypto, and like, let's say worst case, 90% I'm saying, if you thought rationally about it, you are not going to fail in crypto investing or crypto trading. But let's say by chance 10% chances there that you failed. I'm pretty sure that if you followed a rational approach, you will learn why. That, okay, this was the reason that this crypto failed or this business failed. Now you can use that learning to make your next investment better. So but from my experience, I've like used this investment approach, and I've only been like I've been profitable. Plus I've like, life has been pretty good, like in terms of peace of mind and everything. Like, it was not like I was having a headache that, that you would have a dog coin or something, that this cryptocurrency can fall anytime or like that. Like, if you're investing in Ethereum, Solana, you know for sure that these businesses are going to succeed, because they are working for it, they are destined for it, they have the value for it. So yeah, I would just like to conclude by saying that if you're going through development, learn basis of web dev, machine learning, and that gets started right away with blockchain and cryptocurrencies. If you're getting into investment side, learn about the basic blockchains. You can find the link in my blogs, and then get into invest some amount in value investing. All right. So yeah, that would be like it from my end. Apart from that, yeah, again, feel free to get in touch and discuss whatever you want to discuss.
Thank you so much. And people asking where you'll get the link of the video and everything. So this session is being conducted by a community called DoCoNation. I'm gonna drop the link to the community server on Discord. You can join this server, and in that we keep on having sessions just like this. Almost every single day we have live tutorials, we have hands-on sessions, we have podcasts. A lot of stuff is happening there. Go check it out. More than 400 students are there with us. We are a growing community, and that's how this session is possible. So thank you so much once again, Tanishq, for joining us today. And thank you so much, everyone else, for joining us today. And we will see you guys next time.
All right, guys, bye, take care.